I've tried a lot of different writing routines over the years. You know what most famous and successful authors have in common? They have a consistent writing routine. And this is why I wanted to talk about how you can create a sustainable writing routine in 5 steps today. If you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Natalie. I'm an author and a growth marketer, and I help writers accelerate their author careers with productivity and marketing advice so that you can live the life that you're dreaming about. So the first steps when it comes to creating a sustainable writing routine is deciding, actually it's getting to know yourself. What kind of person are you? Which time of day are you the most productive or creative? This is an important distinction because for me, I am super productive and I have very easy to focus in the mornings. This means that when I am on a tight deadline, I will just set the alarm clock 1 hour earlier or 2 hours earlier so that I get more writing time in the mornings, because that's when I can, get the work done. And also, it doesn't affect the rest of my day if I have meetings, if I have work to do, or whatever my responsibilities are. But when it comes to the science, like science says that most people are, they have an easier time focusing at the beginning of the day, but they are more creative and relaxed at the end of the day. So you need to know what time of day you can write and what time of day you perform the best. This is why I think that you should try writing in the morning for maybe for a week or for a few days. Or if that doesn't work, try writing during your lunch break. This is also something I do when I'm on a deadline or when I don't have time in the morning. Or if it fits your schedule better, write in the afternoon. That is fine too. But get to know yourself and decide when you're going to write. I have author friends who have kids, and like writing in the morning is impossible for them because they have to get their kids ready for school. But instead of that, they've talked to their partner so that they can write 2 nights, 2 evenings a week, and their partner can do whatever they want to do 2 nights a week, which is a great setup. Like, it's a partnership. So try to find what works for you. And let me know in the comments when you think you will be able to focus the best. And also, before we move on to step number 2, when I am in a time crunch, when I have a lot of other things to do, I will actually bring my iPad and sit and do light editing on the subway. So don't forget the fact that you can actually, dictate your first draft on your phone if you want to, or write it on your phone. Or you can do editing or copy editing on your iPad or on your phone. Like, don't disregard these small pockets of time during the day, because that might be the difference between you finishing your book and not finishing it. Step number 2 is deciding on how long you're going to write. With this, I want you to be realistic. If it's realistic for you to write half an hour a day, that's great. But if it's only realistic for you to write 15 minutes a day, then put down 15 minutes. Don't say, I'm going to write for 1 hour a day, only to show up on day 3 not having the time to write. It's better that you give yourself like a shorter period of time, a shorter goal to achieve, and then reaching it way beyond it most days. That's a lot better, because otherwise you won't be able to get that streak you want to get going. I don't know, if you have the goal to go to the gym 3 times a week, like, it's better to say 3 times a week than I'm going to be at the gym 3 hours a week, because sometimes you only have time to go for a run half an hour, and that's better than nothing. So remember that it's better to show up and have a smaller goal, but set a goal that is realistic for you, that you can sit down and write each and every single time. When I started writing regularly, I started by writing half an hour each and every single morning, just as a try. I think I decided to try it for 30 days, but after 30 days, I loved it. I felt like I was actually working towards my goal of becoming an author. I felt like I felt more like a writer, an author. It was some sort of mind shift for me, which made me wake up even earlier and write for 1 hour a day. And this has helped me like launch my writing career, push it way forward more than anything else, because it means that I get more or less at least 7 hours of writing time each and every single week, which is a lot of writing time compared to a lot of other people. So if you create a consistent writing routine, you will be ahead of most writers, most people who say they want to write. Remember that. So set a realistic goal, and then like when you've tried it for some time, you can add more to it, like more time or more words or whatever. Step number 3 is deciding how often you want to write. And once again, I remind you that it's better to set realistic goals here, because we are trying to create a habit and a consistent streak. So if it's maybe it's possible for you to write each and every single weekend, you can write on, say, Sundays. Perfect. Now put that down and decide that you're going to do it. Or maybe it's realistic for you to write 3 times a week. Then perfect. Write that down. Or if you're like me and it's possible for you to write each and every single day, amazing. Like it doesn't matter how often you can write, but like the more often you write, the easier it will become in the long run, because we are creating forward motion. Think of atomic habits here. The more we repeat the thing we want to do, the more often, the easier it will become. And especially when it comes to habit formation, because on average it takes 66 days or 66 repetitions before it becomes comfortable and a little bit more easy, which means that if you write each and every single day for, I think it's 10 something weeks, then after 10 weeks, it will be a natural part of your everyday life. But if you write once a week, then that like habit formation will take a lot longer, because you have to do it for more than you have to do it for 66 weeks, because you only sit down on Sundays. So have that in mind and like keep going when it feels hard. And also a side note here is the fact that like I hear a lot of people saying, I'm going to write sometime this week. Okay, but that's not good enough. You need to decide which days you're going to write, because otherwise it's super easy to procrastinate and just push it forward and say, I'll do it later, I'll do it later. If you say you're going to write on Monday, Wednesday, Sunday, then like decide. Keep that promise to yourself. If you end up in the time crunch or something happens, then write on the bus, dictate on your phone, like make sure that it happens. Take 15 minutes out of your lunch break to do some writing. This is what I do. I just make sure that it happens, even though on those days that I don't really have the time to do it. Step number 4 might be the most important one, and I think maybe the one that most people skip, which means that they might fail. So don't skip this one, because it's so important. Now that you have, you've decided on how long you're going to write, how much you're going to write, which days you're going to write, put it in your calendar. Yes. Yes, you have to put it in your calendar. No, you cannot skip it. If we book a meeting with ourselves when it comes to writing, if we put it in the calendar, it's a lot, like the chances of you actually sitting down and writing that time increase a lot. Because also when you look at your calendar for the week or for the next day, you will see the fact that, okay, no, but I plan to write that time. I can't go out to dinner with my friends, or I will have to move my writing time to a little bit earlier or a little bit later. But then, you will remember it. You won't just skip it because something more urgent or more fun showed up. So put it in your calendar. I think this is so important. And I've read a lot of books on productivity and on time management, and this is something that they keep coming back to. Schedule time to be in flow, to be focused. This is very important if you want this to succeed. So I have I have different times in my calendar. Those days that I work, when I work at the office, I need to wake up earlier. And those days when I work from home, I can wake up a little bit later. So like, yeah, I have time slots each and every single day in my calendar. On weekends, I usually write with my friends. So I have that in my calendar as well. And it's always a good reminder to have it there. Step number 5 is for you to create a writing ritual. Like, if you, every time you sit down and write, maybe you light your favorite candle, or maybe you, I don't know, prepare your favorite cup of coffee. Maybe you put on some ambient music. I don't know. But if you have some sort of ritual, this is actually like a cue for your subconscious to turn on your creative brain. My writing ritual is, I don't know if it's simple or not, but each and every single morning I wake up, I go out and I meditate on the balcony, and then after that I sit down and write. And if it's winter season, I usually light a candle because it's so dark and cold here in Sweden. And if it's summer, I don't. But like, I always do these things, which means that when I sit down and write, it's easy for me to focus. I snap into it right away. And another thing that I do is that I have a productivity app that that tracks how long I write for. But another thing that it does is that it makes sure that I can't access social media. So it blocks all of those fun apps that could make me procrastinate, or that could pull me out of focus, which is really good for me because you may or may not know, but I do love social media. I love taking photos, creating videos and stuff like that. So that can be a problem for me. And the way that I have found to remedy that is to have a focus app that just locks down my phone so I can't access it. I will also turn off my notifications on my computer. I will turn off my emails and everything like that, because when I'm writing, the important thing is writing, and I want to like have my full concentration on that. So that is the way that I've created my like ritual around writing, and I want you to create your own. So let me know in the comments what you think you should do to create this cozy vibe ritual, which will make it easier for you to focus every time you sit down and write. So if you follow each and every single step, this, I think, will help you create a more sustainable writing habit so that you can write more often and keep on coming back to it. If you've missed the video I made about the Indie Author Survey 2025, that one showed that people who actually treat writing like they take it seriously, treat it like a job, and keep on showing up often and build a long backlist, those are the authors who makes the most money as writers. These are the ones that can actually make a living off of writing. And that is why I think having a consistent writing routine is so important, because that way you will be able to write a lot more books, and you will be able to publish books consistently over time without getting burnout. This is why it's also so important to build a ritual around it, to have a time and day that you have decided that you're going to write on. So let me know in the comments if you already are writing consistently, or what your writing schedule looks like. I would love to hear it, because for me, I've been writing for more than 1,000 days in a row now, and writing each and every single day comes very natural for me. But I don't think that's the case for other writers. I'm not sure though, because some of the writers I talk to write consistently and some don't. It's very different. So let me know what you guys are doing, and thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you soon. Bye.